Does this work or not work? Does Doomfist found me?
Honey hop! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Now we are going to be jumping all the way to a 4.4k peak main tank player.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so we are getting top 500 main tank coaching in this next session.
You might call me a big idiot after this game, and I
might
be offended.
I probably will. I bully a lot of the players I work with. That's just how it is on this earth. Sorry. Prepare yourself.
Yeah, I'll tell you straight out, right? I don't like speaking comms when I'm playing comp. I listen to comms.
Problem?
Yeah, I know. I know that's bad. But in case you ask, what are you telling your team to do? There, I'm not telling them anything. It's kind of a mess.
That is okay. Okay,
I know it's strange for tank.
No, it's not. It's honestly not as strange as you think it is.
Not an EU anyway, but this is a NA game where they sort of expect it.
Yeah. That's something I think we can unpack as we go. And instead of saying you need to be talking here, it's hey, if you were to communicate to your team here, what do you think you should be saying? I think is the way we'll like to look at that.
Okay, cool.
But otherwise, I'm ready to go. You ready to go, Jayne?
Yep.
Not fire striking spawn door shit player.
I think I was tabbed out. Normally I do, but that's my if I'm late.
Yeah. You want to be taking longer fights, so you play a little further back. That's good. I don't think that guy should have died there, but you recognize your advantage and you go pretty aggressively. That's really, really good. The only issue I've really seen that's big so far is you were wasting a lot of your shield health there. In the way that you would like. So your shield needs to be down for a period of time in order for it to in order for it to regen. You know that, but when you just pop it up randomly like that, you don't give your shield time to regen. And so you just waste a lot of shield health. That guy ends. Okay, pause really quick. You're down one. How do you take this fight? What do you think, word for word, you should have said to your team here?
I just said, let's just leave. This is bad. I'm going to get walled off. I can't do anything. And we probably would just give him a tick or two. And at least he would have sped back the Kree.
Makes sense. Just say, yeah, something like, we're down one, let's just leave and regroup 6v6. Something like that.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not in comms, so I just sort of do the best out of a shit situation.
I know you're not in comms, but the reason I'm asking you this because if you think about what you should be saying in a moment, you'll want to say it. Really.
Yeah.
But if you don't think about what you want to be saying, then you're just gonna keep doing your thing and hope somebody else does something, and then you'll lose the fight and be like, "Oh, team bad." When in all reality, as the main tank, you're the guy who's the one who says, "Hey guys, let's leave. I don't want to be here right now. Fuck this." Like, you're that guy, right? So if you think about what you want to be saying, you'll probably just want to say it.
Yeah, I do like NA. I'm listening in comms. There's always someone talking in NA. But in EU, it can just be like a silent fest for 20 minutes when no one says anything. But NA is like guaranteed someone's calling something.
Yeah, but you're the main tank. You're
the
one who,
I know. It's not
you're
good.
The one who calls the rotations. That's
yeah.
If you don't like it, leave. Pick up a different role. As a main tank player, I'm not saying you need to be a shot caller, right? But you need to be able to call some of these things, because as a main tank, you are the one who understands the situation better than anyone else. That's just how your role works. You understand the situation, you understand what you need to be doing, and you understand what you need your team to be doing. So why would you not say those things? That's not something you need to answer this second, but it is something you need to think about.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah, you only see 3 people here. I like how you're walking at them to try and box us out. This is good. I think that's Gig, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Brax is Gig.
Gig.
Okay. No. Seriously, no.
Is this a classic Marv shatter?
No.
Is this a
No. Like jokes aside, like let's go back and talk about that. Why was this a bad shatter?
Because I had no idea where they were standing down there.
You had no clue. You did not even peek your head over and check. You did not even bother to see if there would be somebody there to hit with the fucking shatter. You just did it because you wanted the cool elbow. You wanted to give them the people's elbow from the top rope. Like, this is just so disgustingly careless to me. Like, this is you can't go for a play like this without seeing if it'll work. Like, if you the only thing like cooler than like, so when you make a play like this and you try to make a cool play, you were flipping a coin to see if you were doing something cool or if you were doing something that will make you look like a monumental fucking idiot. And right here, you do not like you don't think about it. You just say, I'm gonna go for the cool play. I wanna be the cool player and write main tank difference into all chat because I'm the good main tank. No. The way you really MTD the other guy is by winning the fucking game. And right here, it's just like you are so careless because you just want to do a cool play. You don't check, you don't look. Why? Like, what's the thought process there?
What? Like I said, I should have checked. I knew they were just going off the sounds and the way the fight was going, but I should have just looked to see where they're positioned or just went for like a safe shadow.
Yeah, and you're Reinhardt, dude. You have wall hacks. You can peek around corners in third person. Like, you have access to so much information that pretty much no other character in the game has access to, and you are not using it.
I didn't pick a game where I looked good. Like, I needed to hear this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather scold you when you improve as a player than coddle your ego and you stay stagnant. So,
I mean, like, you're a 4.4K player in Overwatch, and so you're good at the game. I mean, that's a fraction of the percentage of the player base makes it to that rank. So I guess, like, the first thing when I see this is kind of like, you know, it might sound like an offensive question, like, but like, do you legitimately want to climb, or are you here to have fun and like hit funny shatters like this?
No, I have more fun winning. I think it's more than just like a one game thing. I think climbing in Overwatch is just a grind in itself. So the more games I play, the more I climb. But if I'm not having fun in those games, I'll just check out and stop playing.
Fair enough.
So I know it's an int, but if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to play, and then I'm not climbing.
All right. So
that's like, my perspective.
No, that definitely answers my question. Yeah.
Word of advice for that, as a guy who has also been on that grind, it is better to play 3 games a day very, very well, where you are 100% on, and even if the team sucks and the game sucks, you have the mental fortitude to get through it and do your best, than to play 10 games in a day where you are half mentally checked out for most of them.
And one other thing that I'll add on here is that there's a lot of higher ranked players, when they are wanting to like really grind, they have separate accounts. They have like a performance account and a practice account, where, you know, if you are looking to like climb and improve and win, and you're in the you're feeling the, you know, maybe you have an account when your mindset is like, let's win, you play that account. When you've got another account that is like, well, that didn't go well, let's meme around and just 360 shattered nerds and do shit, then use on that account. But one of the dangerous things to do is that, like, the brain is really good at performing in a certain way given its context, and you're mixing contexts here. So this is a high level ranked game where you're wanting to win here. But if you are going to be doing some of these kind of like meme things here, it can be hard to like bring that in when it is time to actually play, because you'll have, you know, less experience, or you might be tempted to do some of these meme things even if it is in a competitive game. You know, and like it can really hurt you as well, because, you know, maybe you misjudge it and you get to the point where it's like, oh, we're going to win this one anyway, so I can relax a little bit, I can meme a little bit, but then you get into a thing where, you know, something happens, the game becomes closer, and then you're like, oh no, back to trying, right? So you can also get into this situation where if you do meme for a little bit and then try somewhere a little bit harder, like if you really are wanting to be competitive in this kind of environment, and, you know, like, you know, go contenders or pro or get to like rank 1 on the ladder. I mean, you're 4.4. That's in spitting distance, depending on where in the season you're at. That it's like you do want to be a little bit more cutthroat, and like if you want to do that in like pugs or anything like that, certainly nobody's telling you not to have fun, but just mixing contexts is going to be really, really dangerous for a competitive player.
Yeah, I mean, my main account's usually the account I like try hard on, try not to do anything.
Oh, so this
very...
is your meme account.
But is it like my main account is actually my lowest SR account? I can't, like, when I'm tryharding, I haven't been able to climb on that account, but all my alt accounts are just higher.
So that's interesting. So the accounts that you
relaxed.
meme on and have fun on are the ones that you are highest rank on.
Yeah, they're both like 4.3, with my main account, which I'm actually like trying hard to win, like non-meming, is 3.8. Is ridiculous.
Okay, so
I don't know if the account's cursed.
Now, as a coach, that's a very interesting thing that you've said. So that's, yeah. I guess.
Like, I'm really tryharding. I'm not meming. I'm like trying hard to climb on that account.
All right. Well, Gunther, I'll pass it back to you then.
Rotating back to this moment, this was a bad shatter because you just didn't check and you didn't bother to look at the situation beforehand. Yeah, that's, and then your team kind of just like, and you're not like shielding your team right now, and that's just suboptimal. And you don't even bother to try and block his shatter too, which is just not very great. But you guys are in a good position, so you push up, you try to take control point. That's good. See if you... The biggest question is, where are you guys going to reset after this fight? Are you going to keep pushing? Okay, no. Cool, I was like, she probably has wall back up again. Oh, no. So, that was good discipline on your part. Like,
I see a Mayor run sometimes.
Yeah. So you reset up to high ground. Your Widow just kills 2 because that's how it is. You don't really ever bother to check where your team is, huh? You know that you can see your team through walls, right? That they have outlines of their characters, and if you look at them through a wall, you can see them. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You sure? Because you could have fooled me.
I just don't like holding on that top left spot.
That's fine.
Default this spot
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about holding on that top left spot. I really mean just like, you don't check where your team is ever. Like, you just do stuff, and then you just kind of keep doing stuff. But you don't ever see, like, hey, where's my backline playing? Hey, where's my Zarya right now? You just kind of do stuff. Why is that?
I don't know. I think I describe my gameplay as, like, just unorthodox, really built from bad habits.
Okay, can we pause? Can we go back to that? Just where he goes up to that high, yeah. So this is the account you're higher ranked on?
Surprisingly, yes.
Fucking what? Anybody who knows that this is a thing which you can do will kill you every single time. You are just hoping that the enemy team is stupid right now, which is never something that you should bet on. If you are hoping that the enemy team is bad for your play to work, then you are making a bad play. I will die on that hill.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I was hoping they were just going to speed past, and
you were hoping they would be stupid. You were hoping they would be stupid, and they weren't. They swung out wide and they saw you up there. And even so, you are even by doing this, you are flipping a coin. You are hoping that they come out of the correct doorway. You are hoping that not only the enemy team RNG's a bad play, but like it's not even a 50-50. It's like a 75-25 because the enemy team isn't stupid enough to make that stupid play. You should not expect the enemy team to be stupid. You should expect the enemy team to be good, and then you should outplay that. If you expect the enemy team to be stupid, you will make stupid plays.
I gotta see this one more time.
I gotta close my eyes.
Don't worry. This is only one of 2. You'll see the next one.
Why would you?
I'm just preparing.
Then you try and 360 him, like...
No, there was a plan there. I knew he saw me going down, so I was like, if I turn away, he might like sword drop down his shield chasing after me, and I might spin around and catch him last second, but I didn't realize it was
that makes sense.
tank, so...
That makes sense. It's like he already knew, so you got to trick him.
I've been caught out many times doing that. It's not my first rodeo being caught out using spots like this, but sometimes if they don't know what's going on, Because they've given me ult like 30 seconds ago.
No,
they don't know
see,
what I'm doing.
Gunther, it makes sense though, because he's in that position, and then he's been spotted, so he's trying to retreat, but he can't exit the shatter. So the enemy Reinhardt thinks that he's going to be retreating, but he can't leave the shatter, so the shatter's going to just like shatter into his back line because he's trying to run away, but then he bunny hops to turn around and catches the Rein off guard. I can see it working. The logic is there.
Like, Jayne, I get
The
that
logic is there.
You're doing like an elaborate bit.
No. Maybe.
That hurt me. This really hurts me. This is the kind of shit that makes me wish my great times a million grandpappy stayed in the primordial soup.
I'm gonna make an account called Coin Flip, and it'll probably still be higher than my main.
Yeah, I mean that's because that's what I'm watching right here. I'm watching you go to Vegas and lose all your money in slots. Like,
And he's still 4.4. I love it.
Still at 4.4. Oh my goodness gracious. God, what happened to this game?
I'm only 4.3 this season.
Oh,
I guess
sorry,
this is why.
4.3 massive.
This is probably why I'm not 4.4. That's
Like,
the only explanation.
unironically, no bullshit. I would avoid you.
Look, I haven't used anything from you. I haven't used in rank already, so you can go ham.
I don't play ranked anymore, but
I'm the reason why. I know this.
yeah, it's all you, buddy. You destroyed my motivation to grind Overwatch. You are responsible for the death of my career. This is good. You're just shielding your square, trying to break shields, and then you go to you. Let's
Just
move on.
ignore this.
Let's move on.
Don't pause this.
I'm only bullying you so much because I expect good things. And if I saw this in
will
my
say-
ranked games, I'd rip into you.
I will say Super seen a clip of this, and he said he was going to use it in Owl. So you take that for as you
You
will.
were going to be the inspiration for the next Defran Grav on Hollywood. Marv, do you have any, like, I know I see you in pugs all the time, but have you ever played on a competitive team, like 12-mans?
Yeah, like a local UK tournament, which is it's not really the same because it's local to your arena, so it's just wherever place you can get to the arena.
Oh, so you've played at LAN?
Yeah, I don't like meme at LAN.
Yeah, cool. I love that. LAN is such an amazing, unique experience. But it might be good for you to play some more organized online competitive play if you really wanted to look to improve. Because that will teach you discipline, because everyone else will be holding you accountable.
Yes.
See? He fire strike spawn. That guy was an owl. So they drop to push into you, and you say, okay, I'll fight this aggressively, and that's good, right? Yeah, that was good, actually. I like the way that you were so aggressive on them. They dropped, they lost the advantage they had, and you said, all right, I'll run you over, buddy. I got my whole team here. You guys are still coming back from spawn. That was good. I like that. More of that, please. You recognized an advantage, and you pushed on it. I like it. See, this is a scenario where you tell your team where you want to be fighting next, right? You say, hey, let's stack up on their doorway. Let's be ready to fight them. Let's hold this high ground or something. It's a good lamp from them. But yeah, you guys just grab a dragon combo that fight. That's good.
Alright, Jayne, shut your eyes.
What do you mean? I'm the one who enjoys this shit.
Okay. Gunther, shut your eyes. Does this work or not work? Does Doomfist found me.
Bunny hop! Yes!
Oh,
Yes! Yes!
I'm just gonna pretend the last 20 seconds didn't happen.
Yeah,
It
Silva
won
missed
the
me.
fight!
I don't.
Silva
But
is stuck in the tree. Just so you know.
it won the fight, but should it have?
But did it?
It doesn't win the fight, no.
No? Oh, shit. Damn.
Yeah. Silva messaged me, so he got stuck in a tree where he couldn't move because I pinned and the Widow sniped him.
Oh.
That's like. Okay. You and there's not even a lot to talk about there. You know that was a bad play, and then because of it, like, you're not even there to take the fight. You did, like, there's nothing to coach there because you didn't do anything. You just died. What the fuck just happened?
What?
They just inted. Oh my god.
Unlucky gig.
I think that's gig, so, like, don't take my word on that, but...
I don't know a lot of the enemy ult accounts.
What? That should not have... Oh my goodness gracious.
Why are they just inting at you? I don't understand.
Wait, did you block that shutter?
I don't know, I might have been too far away.
Can we do that? Can we maybe look at that in slow motion?
Yeah.
It might not be named.
No, you were
No.
late. Okay. I was wondering if that was a hey, or if that was a hey, good reaction times, or you were slow there. You need if the enemy team is coming back from spawn, you need to be cognizant of the ults that they have, right? That Rein inted, you saw him int, you killed him, and you just did not really think about whether or not they were going to come back from spawn for this fight, especially considering how close the spawn room is on this point. If you know the enemy team is coming back from spawn with ults, you need to be ready to counter them before they're there, instead of just trying to like just do that and like have that crazy reaction times for that shatter, like. And you, oh, see, you finally check where your team is, and you're like, oh shit, I need to wait a second. You guys just gonna go to point here? I like this. This is good. Good rotation. Just saying, you guys are gonna let us go to point? Guess I'll go to point. Your shield got fucking Dorito'd. You're a little careless with how you peek the square, so you just take like 300 damage there in an instant. But overall, I like that rotation. I think you just needed to communicate to your team that that's what you wanted to do. Because if you guys took that rotation as a 5-man and then maybe your Hanzo off-angled or something, I think you probably would have won that fight because of the positioning advantage you had in the angles that you could be peeking. But because of the fact that you just walked there and you hoped that your team was with you, you kind of just wasted a lot of time, and you made your team be in a bad position because of it.
Great shatter.
That was a good shatter. You didn't really cleave on the lamp at all, though, intentionally. I think you should have done that.
Yeah, I just saw that as well.
Yeah. That just felt like a tunnel vision issue of like you needed to rotate your mouse so you would have been able to hit that lamp more. But otherwise, I think you didn't do awful that fight. I think that was just like weird ult usage all around in terms of how early that grab was, and like your team was cut off by the Torb lava. That's not gonna. But you guys go rotate through high ground here. You check that your team is with you. I like that. You're walking out. See that when I talk about shield hopping, that's where you should be doing it. Ooh. That's a. Hey, I thought you said you tracked enemy Rein shatter pretty often.
Yeah, it wasn't that good that fight.
That was not good. That was not good at all. That was you getting MTD'd, buddy. And it's like it's one of those things where it's like that shatter hits you afterward, and you go, "Fuck! I knew he had shatter," right? But like,
Yeah.
you weren't thinking about it in the moment because you weren't thinking about it.
We just pinned each other. I should have shielded straight away, but
Yeah.
I just started swinging.
And like, I don't think there's anything like. That's one of those things where you might want to like, I like, you might have to help me out with this, Jayne. Where it's like, how do you teach someone to start thinking, right? Like how to like when I say at the beginning of every game, you need to answer what are the limits of your comp and what are the limits of the enemy team's comp so you can play around them properly, right?
Yep.
That's a question that you need to answer for yourself at the beginning of every single game that you are in. Not just because it helps you understand what your comp does, but because it gets you thinking. It wakes up the hamster in your brain, and it lets him start running on the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, you should see my Hammond.
I shouldn't.
Now
That would
I
make
am
me sad.
fantastically curious.
I don't know how to teach somebody to start thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's so. It depends, because there's not just like one way of thinking. About,
Yeah.
like thinking about different things. So I suppose like let's break this down a little bit differently. In this So because it looked like this, it was the fight before this was the one with the Gravith Shatter, right? I think it was.
Yeah, on the bridge.
Was this after it? This was after it, so it was like right before. Yeah, it was right here
Here-ish.
where Silvok's going to start the Molten Core here. So, Marv, I guess let's just kind of like break this down. So, you're, at least to me, it looks like you're going in here with a grav play. Has this been kind of communicated? This game was recent enough that it was communicated to you, right? Or that you remember whether there was communication?
I know there's grav. I don't think there's a lot of speaking in this game.
So like because the thing that kind of like
shot
question
call,
marks me is that you're going in here and here comes the Molten Core, right, immediately, and you keep pushing in. So there's a couple things going on here. So that like this seems like something that I would normally see from a lower level a game where they're like you've got a plan, it's going in, but you've got two things happening right now. Basically, there's Silvok's going to be using this Molten Core, which is going to make not only the backline a lot harder to position and actually help you out, but it's also just going to make you harder to attack. And the second thing, like Gunther is talking about being aware of the rest of your team, there's also a Doomfist that's attacking your Hanzo, and your McCree's not with you. So it's like we're seeing kind of this almost like, you know, my first guess or assumption about this sort of situation would be like that there has been a grav play communicated and you're going to want to commit onto it. So here, this grav does land 4, and then you're here as well, right? But the Hanzo is now dead, and the McCree's not there. So it's just you and the Zarya. And I'm not sure if the Zarya is even at full energy, right? So this was really early. Your McCree's out of the fight, your Hanzo's dead, and your Zarya is at low energy because you tried to rush this play. So, like, you did this fantastically, right? You swung into it. I mean, you could have cleaved it, but you timed it perfectly with the grav ending. You pivoted around to get behind. You shattered at the right timing to actually hit them with the AoE shatter, not the cone shatter. This was all great. It's like, this is one of the things where it makes sense from your perspective because you are playing first-person perspective, and also not because you're looking around to try and get more information to contextualize your perspective. So, like, in what I would like to, that's kind of like skipping ahead here, but at the exact moment that Silvok kind of pops his Molten Core and starts firing it, what do you think about in the game at this moment in time?
I'm thinking, like, it's either like earlier on our third when we lose them, we got either run out and come back in, or just go hard. I probably again didn't check behind me to realize my McCree was ages away.
So you were being like, do we back up or do we go in hard, right? Because if they're doing this, it's like you can't just float around and get burned by lava, right? So you've made the decision to go fast, play quick, high tempo, and try and play into these ultimates, right? And what made you make that decision?
I think they say it's the grav, and I'm close to Shatter, and we are close to the beat as well, so I thought we might probably get through the lava.
So let's like, even if we played this back from your perspective, right, you could see yourself making that decision a second time. And this is going to be where, you know, the argument about Gunther is saying that it's just like, if you were to think about this game, like if we were to watch this back, right, just from this first-person perspective, it's unlikely that you would make a different decision, right? So you have to, like, it's not that you're not thinking, right? It's that you haven't given yourself enough information in order to think in a way that's going to allow you to arrive at the right conclusion. So you're trying to make a decision on imperfect information. And you're never going to have perfect information, but you can get that information in a whole bunch of different ways. You can do it by looking at your team. You can do it by doing the camera pivot. You can do it through, I mean, one of the biggest ways is going to be just communication. Even if you don't see your team, they can communicate to you, and that prevents you from having to divert your attention. It's going to take less of your attention for somebody to give you a verbal communication update than for you to try and look around, find them, and then figure out what they're doing. Like, think about the time difference that's going to be between somebody being like, Doom on me, versus you having to find your Hanzo, where he is, where the Doom is, figure out that Doom is in a position to attack the Hanzo, and then figure that out. So, like, the Hanzo can just tell you. But, so, this is going to be the point where it's like, your decision-making is fine. It's not that we can't really teach you to think better or think more critically until you are giving yourself the information required to come to the correct conclusions. So, like, your play, when you, like, there was that one play where you dropped off that high ground because the enemy Rein tried to punish your Zarya, right? So it was, your Zarya made an unforced error, and the enemy rein moved to punish that, and it was really good. So your Zarya was the one who made a mistake, and the enemy rein moved to punish that, and then you managed to turn that on its head, and through a fantastic engagement, like probably textbook, one of the cleanest frontline engagements I've seen, not only did you save your Zarya and win the engagement, but you actually got an elimination without the assistance of DPS. So it's like when you are getting in these engagements, your actual like tactics are fantastic. Your mechanics are really quite good. And this is shown in like, I think that this is what you focus on because of like the bounce spots that you have on the Reinhardt. Like, you know, all these little tiny intricacies on Reinhardt. Your mechanics, their execution, and the tactics are fantastic. And I think you have a strategic mind as well. But I think the main problem here, and what Gunther's been getting at, is that you're not feeding yourself enough information in order to make the correct strategic calls. And maybe this is because you're putting too much thought into the mechanics, the execution, or the tactics. Does that make sense? And this is almost like a classic DPS problem, where it's like you've put so much effort into winning duels, you aren't thinking about whether or not you should be dueling, or what are the risks of losing the duel compared to the risks or the benefits of winning the duel. All right, Gunther, I will pass it back to you.
At the end of the day, there are things that only you will be able to know for yourself on main tank because of the fact that you play main tank in the way that you play main tank. So the objective here isn't you need to become the perfect main tank as much as it is you need to become the best version of your main tank. So that's why I think it's difficult to give a lot of like specific actionable information as opposed to more theory stuff of, well, you need to think about things this way, right? Does that make sense at all? Or do I sound crazy? Okay, cool.
No, it completely makes sense.
Is there any other questions you have or moments that you want to talk about, or do you want to move to a wrap up?
No, I think you covered most of it I can think of.
Like, say anything about it.
I like what you said. Like, if I'm expecting stupid plays to work, I'm just betting on the team being stupid. There's a fair point.
Yeah, I don't think you should ever bet on the enemy team being stupid. Yeah, because that's just, you're playing down to their level, right? Like, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah, there's a like, you know, in a game of truly perfect information like chess, right? It's a very bad strategy in chess to just pretend that your opponent can't see your attack, right? So when you're developing your attack, it's kind of like, you know, if we're going to pull a computer science analogy, you don't want to have, you don't want to like use security through obscurity. You know, you don't want to win relying on the opponent that doesn't know, that the opponent does not know what you're doing. Assume that the opponent knows what you're doing and that your strategy will succeed regardless, and then include a layer of fog of war on top of that.
That makes sense.
That's really high level, but that's important. So
yeah, that sounds real cool the way you said that. the layer of fog on the enemy.
Yeah, well, that's really all I wanted to cover or talk about. So like I said, if you have any questions, ask me. If something, what did you say, Jayne? If something doesn't make sense tomorrow that made sense today, reach out.
Yep.
But otherwise,
yeah.
In the wise words of the late great MF Doom, that's that.
Marv, I really appreciate you coming on. I hope you enjoyed
no,
it. I really do
inviting
appreciate you sharing the meme shadows. Holy shit, I was not expecting that, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time, even if Gunther didn't.
I mean, I enjoyed working with you, and like, even if I was kind of upset by the things that I saw, you responded in a way that wasn't like defensive of no, this was the right play. Like, you knew it was the wrong play, and you responded to that, and that was good. Like,
it has broke mentals of the enemy team before. I would say. If you do
I'm sure it has.
It broke my mental, buddy.
Well, Marv, look forward to seeing you in Pugs. But
hell yeah,
we're gonna keep going with the stream. But thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you both.
All right. How is your blood pressure, Gunther?
You know, I'm okay. I've been better. I've been worse.
Do you have a chat open when you're doing these coaching sessions? Were you looking at
no,
chat?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's probably good. It'll be interesting for you to watch this back with chat replay.
Should I not?
No, you should. It was an interesting
Okay.
discussion about your coaching approach, but there was an interesting because some people were like, I want to be coached by Gunther, like this is perfect, and being like, this is how high level players, and being like, have you ever been coached in like meat sports? This is what it's like. But and then obviously I have a much softer style, which is actually kind of funny because when I first started coaching, I was even more toxic, and it's like I don't think you were toxic, right? But it was perceived that way. Are there people here from like the really OG days when I would be like, you're shit, I'm shit, everybody's shit? Those sort of days were like the very first Reinhardt one where I flamed the dude for charging all the time. But I used to be like a massive asshole. And like back then, I was doing that because I thought that was what people wanted and it was entertaining from content. And I think that it was one of the things that got me noticed. Like these days I am already known, so I don't have to rely on kind of like that anger baiting. But some people really do respond to that. I mean, like you see versions of that kind of coaching, which is like, I'm not saying that your coaching is toxic, but we're just taking like the platonic ideal of toxic coaching, right? But you have like, even on Reddit these days, there's a guy called like Angry Llama, and then there are Angry Llama reviews. Spylo has a very aggressive coaching style. Ragtag had a really aggressive coaching style. Even Stylosa. It's like, that aggressive style, like a lot of people respond to it. But yeah.
Well,
so
I think it's really that everybody responds to different things, and it is your job as a coach to understand what someone responds to.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think that there's no one size fits all coaching. There's no way that you can say this is how you coach a player, because they're not players, they're people, and everybody thinks in different ways and feels in different ways. And the best coaches understand people.
Yeah. That's kind of the thoughts.
Yeah. It's really just that like everyone learns differently, and you need to adapt for that, or you need to maybe say, hey, maybe I'm not the right coach for you. Like, and that's not like I think that like I am pretty adaptable in terms of my coaching, right? Like the way I coached in the first session, the way I coached in the different session or second session, that was two very different ways I did things, because you need to read the situation and be able to say like, this person responds well if I'm more aggressive with them, or this person responds very well if I'm much more, calm and introspective about things, right? It's like,
and I think the only time the alarm bell went off on my head was like as soon as I saw that like he was doing a meme shatter, I was like, holy shit, maybe we're approaching this wrong, right? So like you've got your own preamble. Like my preamble, I always try and get to as deep of a why as possible. Like, why do you play Overwatch? What is your goal in Overwatch, and why is that your goal? Because it's like, if Marv, it's like Marv submitting a VOD with meme shatters, like we never really, I think like I tried to get into it, but it's like as soon as I see something like that where a person who is doing something that is very clearly anti-competitive behavior, or like uncompetitive behavior, probably not anti, just uncompetitive behavior. At that point, it's kind of just like, all right, maybe I have a poor understanding of why Marv is doing these things and what he wants to get out of the game. So.